And we're live. Thank you everyone for joining us today for this Melapress Live Q&A. Before we dive into today's discussion, some news from our end. Today we released WP Activity Log 5.6.0, which basically the highlight of this release, it supports LearnDash. So basically, if you have LearnDash and you install WP Activity Log, it will keep a log of what the tutors or the administrators are doing in terms of courses, lessons, and configuration, but it also keeps a log of what students are doing, if they enroll to a course, complete a course, etc. So if you would like to learn more about the plugin, head to melapress.com and navigate to the WP Activity Log page. That's it from our end in terms of news. Today, we'll be talking about WordPress credits. For the first time, it's not a technical subject. It's more about WordPress, the open source project community. And before I introduce today's guest, I'd like to highlight something which I mentioned a couple of times in this podcast, the power of contact and community. So basically, a few weeks ago, we had Raitis from WP Bakery on the podcast, and it was about page builders. And yeah, he told me about WordPress credits. I had heard about it at WordCamp Europe last year when it was just launched, but never really followed it. Anyway, so yeah, Raitis introduced me to someone, and here we are today. In fact, today with me, I have Maciej from Automatic. How are you, Maciej?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to join
You're
you
welcome.
And happy to answer any of your questions.
No worries. Before we jump in, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I started using WordPress around 2007-8, but I was just a regular user for many years until pretty much 2014, where I volunteered for WordCamp Sofia at that time. And this event was like a massive game changer for me because it introduced me to a ton of people from all over Europe and the world pretty much. So that unlocked me for the community. And since that time, I've been active organizing local community events in Poland, the major WordCamps. I've joined Automatic around 2016, and since that time, almost 10 years at this point, so it's been a while, been working with them. First as a happiness engineer doing support, and since last year, I've moved to the community wrangler role, where I'm one of the admins of the WordPress Credits program.
Interesting. Yeah, WordCamps are very interesting. For those who don't know, I mentioned a couple of times on this podcast. Similar to you, Maciej, I've helped organize WordCamp Edinburgh twice. I volunteered at WordCamp Europe when it was, I'm not sure if it was in Berlin or somewhere else, but anyway, yeah, you do meet a lot of people, and it opens a lot of opportunities for, and it's nice to meet all those people sharing the same passion. So yeah, today we'll be talking about WordPress credits. Before we go into the details, let's start simple. Like, what is WordPress credits in your own words?
So it's a contribution-based program because behind it there's a contribution that is delivered by the students. Part of that is the agreement with the university to integrate that credits program into their curriculum. And once we have an agreement with the university, students who express interest in joining the program are connected with mentors. And the program has 3 stages where they have a basic onboarding, where they go over the WordPress ecosystem, the basics. Then they pick a specific area of collaboration that they would like to collaborate with. That's like the project part. And finally, the last stage is the wrap up, where they present what their contribution, what they did, and they receive a certificate that they've completed the program. They get a badge. All the history is visible in the public WordPress.org profile. So that's like a very short description of the program.
Interesting. And this was launched, if I remember correctly, WordCamp Europe last year, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So the first university that participated in the program was the University of Pisa. And what is interesting is the fact that it wasn't the technical department. Those are humanity studies students who got involved into translations. So
Interesting.
yes. So the program
And
is pretty much open to any type of students. It's not only limited to technical degrees, coders, or this type of students. Anyone can make the contribution, pretty much.
and see, so it's in fact what was one of my questions. So you can also contribute, as you said, to translations. What are the typical contributions? So you have development, translations. What else is there?
Community. There's photos team. From what I remember, there are nine fields of contributions. There's also accessibility, which might be a very interesting topic for some students. So pretty much all the areas that are displayed at make.wordpress.org can be covered by the credits program.
Okay, and how many universities are there enrolled at the moment?
Currently, we have signed agreements with 8 universities from pretty much all over the world, from Asia through Europe to Southern Americas. We're in the works with some institutions from Australia, more from Europe, and also from North America. So the program is growing, but the growth, we try to keep it in a sustainable way, because one of the crucial parts of this is connecting also the students with the mentors. And we're growing systematically the number of mentors who work with the students, but we don't want to get on board as many universities for the sake of reaching the numbers, because then we also need to provide mentors for the students. So the goal is also to grow this program sustainably, learn from all the feedback that we receive from any of the institutions, and scale it in a not rushed way when the opportunities basically arrive.
In fact, yeah, like what is expected from a student as part of the program?
So the student needs to be, first of all, committed. He needs to complete the onboarding part. They need to connect with the mentor, find the area of contribution, and work on the actual contribution project. There's a form where they submit weekly or bi-weekly reports of what stages did they complete. They create a website on which they show the progress, publish the progress, and it's part of what they report. And once they reach the end of the second stage of the course, they are expected to create a presentation that wraps up the whole course, sums it up, what they did, to which field they contributed, and what are their achievements. What is also important during the second stage, they connect with an actual contribution team. They join them on the Slack channel, they connect with them, and they ask where they can help out those particular teams. So it brings some new actual people to those contribution teams.
Okay. So are the students monitored, or are the mentors part of the WordPress Foundation or part of the university? Like how does the university?
The mentors are part of the community. We have a mentor application form where anyone can apply. The mentors are vetted based on the experience, background, the WordPress.org profile. Once we agree that this mentor is a good fit for the program, he gets added to the pool of mentors. And once we have a new university or like another batch of students from a university that we've been collaborating with, we assign the mentors to specific students. We try to have not more than 3 students per mentor. because those mentor calls usually can take up to 1 hour. They are happening on a weekly basis, so we don't want to also put a too big burden on the mentors. And the mentors can be doing that type of activity on their own, like pretty much self-sponsor them, or they can be, for example, also sponsored by companies who would like to support the credits program, or some companies, part of the support for the program, just send someone from the company to support the credits program.
I see. So it seems most of the work is still done by the WordPress Foundation. So where do the universities fit in?
So the university, the first step to start the collaboration is for the uni to have a call that we discuss all the details, like how would the program fit into what they are doing, the curriculum. Then we sign an official agreement. Next step is a call for students. Some universities would like us first to create something like a presentation that gonna get the interest of the students, and some universities just deliver you a ready list of students that they want them to do the credits program, and that's it. Once we receive those students, we add them to our systems. They get an introduction email, onboarding email, also with the mentor details that they're gonna be interacting in, and this is where the credits program starts.
I see. So as such, it's quite, there's light work amount of work for the universities. It's not like a resource intensive program, right?
Yes, exactly. We usually get in touch with them when, for example, a student is not responsive, does not reply to any mentor pings, we're unable to reach out them. That's when we contact the university, and they try to contact the student on their side. But besides that, the only aspect that might require some of looking into some legal aspects is the part of internship, because each countries, each institutions might have some different approaches on how they handle those internships. So this is something that we need to also agree to first, adjust, and once we cover all the details, we know how to move forward. But it's a pretty smooth experience for the university, and I would say they benefit from that because they add something interesting to the curriculum, create opportunities for the students. The students learn how to actually work in a remote setup, how to work on remote projects with remote communities, open source projects. So there's a lot of added value besides the contribution itself that happens.
I see. So by being part of the WordPress Credits as a student, does this program also help the student with their school, as in like achieve some sort of recognition, or does it contribute something towards their studies as well?
If it's the credit course will be part of the internship, then they basically using that course can complete the required legally internship hours in the institution.
I see. Okay. And what type of institutions are a good fit? Of course, there are universities, but are they also like, different? Because they're like, in some countries, they're like even like private small schools where they give private tuition about. So do they also fit, or it's mostly universities?
It's mostly universities and colleges where you complete the curriculum with a specific degree, bachelor or like a master's degree. Those are the perfect fit institutions for the program. There are some other programs, like for example, Campus Connect, WordPress Campus Connect, that could fit into pretty much any institution, because as long as it's a school, they can organize an all-day or half-day workshop for the students. Usually those will be the teachers of that institution or local community members or both, where they teach those students how to create WordPress websites or any topic that are around the WordPress ecosystem. But this is a different setup from the credits program.
It's something like extra curriculum rather than
Yes.
okay. Why was the WordPress credits created, or what type of problem it's trying to solve?
There are a couple actually. So first of all, one of the issues is maybe not issues, but we're just aging the contributors. That's the current, and it's also time to get some new perspective, new generations on board. It's us who built and maintain the project, so to keep the project alive and future-proof, having those new students will allow us to have new, fresh perspective and steer the project in new directions that are more current from what used to work earlier. Because in my opinion, what brought us here might not move us further forward, and those generations can help us to make the project sustainable.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned age, and we're aging because I've been to the first WordCamp Europe in Leiden. I think it was 2013 or 14, anyway, one of them. And yeah, and I remember like I've been to almost all WordCamp Europe since then, and I've been traveling to other WordCamps. And there's a certain percentage of attendees at WordCamps which are part of the community, which are always the same people. So as you said, like it's always the same people involved. And yeah, as you said, like most of us like are late 30s, 40s, etc. So it's funny you mentioned age. And I was at one WordCamp, I forgot which one. I was during lunch, I was talking to two much younger guys, and just last year or the year before. In fact, they were quite surprised because like they asked me my age. I said, I'm 44. Like, oh, so you're still in the business? Like, aren't you too old for these things? Like, it's associated there. But hopefully, it's a good time. Hopefully, we will be seeing much more. The younger generation helping, no?
Exactly, and it creates unique opportunities for those students because they get connected with a global community that's been working for a while, being active for a while. What I also share with them that they can have a unique impact on almost 43% of the all websites on the internet, because let's have an example. If you're a new core contributor who just got on board and started doing your contributions, you found a bug. You as a student during the program as part of your curriculum at the university, you just fixed something for 43% of all the websites global. And that's like you can have massive satisfaction for achieving something like that.
Are there, when someone signs up as a student, are there any commitments when they sign up for after, or is just there's a certain time, a certain schedule, a certain program, and once you complete, then if you want, you can of course hopefully help, but you can also leave?
We cannot force the students to continue contributing, but we want to create an environment where we maintain them. We're going to keep them in the community and as contributors, and keep them basically as the next generation. So that's also the end goal, not to just give them the skills, but for them also to become part of our community.
And on average, as a student, how much time it would take me like to be part of these credits while I'm studying at university?
So the course is expected to last 150 hours. That's around 13, 15 weeks. I would say that if you divide that to specific hours, around 8 to 10 hours per week. So that would be the amount expected from the student to put into the contribution.
I see. So it's almost okay, like almost like a part-time job.
Yeah, that's why it's that's why it serves as an internship part.
Okay. And like, are there any students who have participated and completed the whole course
Yes,
already?
so the first batch of students who actually completed were the students from the University of Pisa. They've graduated in December. In the most recent January EduBus that's published on the makewordpress.org, you can see those updates. They have been listed as the ones who graduated the course. So we're like having every month students who actually completed the course, and some of them are actually staying and being active in the community. In their case, continuing the translations.
Which is nice. Which is of course
Yeah,
very nice.
which is exactly what we hope for. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any feedback you can share? Just maybe like what did typical student says from the program?
They were surprised by usually the community. They didn't expect that. They had I had a chance to meet some of them at WordCamp Pisa that happened at the end of last year. So they also participated in the contributor day, and actually attending the event opened their eyes into how strong the community is, and the power and possibilities of the community. Because if you work like disattached from the community on your project, you might not realize the scale of what you're doing. And attending any WordCamps, it's like a big booster for what the students do. And connecting to that, we have two universities in Krakow where the WordCamp Europe gonna happen in June, and the students gonna start the credits program beginning March, which sets them into graduating the program exactly around the time WordCamp Europe is going to happen. So we are getting them on board on the event. There will be a dedicated edu track also related to all those educational topics during the event. So it will be also interesting to get them into a flagship event and check what will be their experience after, how they are gonna approach it. Yeah.
Nice. So it's definitely something positive to see. Like, what are the selling points if you want to convince more students? Typically, how are we selling the WordPress Credits program to them?
So besides WordPress, I put also a lot of focus on open source, teaching the values of open source, because behind WordPress is the open source aspect. So that's another thing that might be interesting for some. So learning how to work remotely, how to work on IT projects that are fully remote, how all those workflows function. They have a better idea for the future and might determine if that's something that they would like to do in the future, or if that's something that like does not fit like how they see themselves in the future.
Yeah. And most probably by contributing to WordPress Core, most probably you might also end up finding a job with a company.
Exactly,
WordPress.
because
You have something to show, right?
all the contributions that they do during the program are stored in the WordPress.org profile. So all the courses, anything, all the contributions, translations, whatever happened, it's displayed on the WordPress.org profile alongside the badge. Once they graduate from the program, they receive also an official badge that they've completed the program. So if they aim for a career in the WordPress ecosystem, they can share the WordPress portfolio. I mean the profile as a portfolio that will just prove the achievement.
I see. So clearly there are a lot of benefits. If a student is interested but their university isn't yet involved, like how would they go about it ideally?
So we recently created a form on WordPress.org/education. that website displays all the educational initiatives. One of them is WordPress Credits. If they go there and check the section that is dedicated to students and go to that, there's a form that allows them to submit the institution that they are potentially would like. If the students want the university basically submit, they can fill out the details of the university, who will be the contact person in the department that they study. And once we received that submission, we basically contact the university on our own, explain to them that there's interest from the student side, that they would like to participate in the program. We explain them the program details, and if that institution is interested in, we start the collaboration with them.
I see, which is good. So students don't have to go through all the politics of dealing with a large institution. The WordPress Foundation reaches out.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Exactly.
For people who are already working in WordPress, such as agencies, developers, companies, product companies, what they can do and how can they help this initiative?
So they can, like I've mentioned earlier, donate a mentor to the program, for example, a company, as part of the Five for the Future initiative. They can also submit a tool if for example, WP Bakery, as the sponsor of the initiative, made a plugin available, and they've also provided a mentor that is helping out with the students. There are hosting companies like WordPress.com who provide hosting platform, or Cloud 86. So there are a couple of sponsors that provide the benefits for the students once they get started, and provide that support to the program.
Nice. You said WP Bakery contributed a plugin. What type of plugin did they contribute?
It's the builder. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the builder, a license for the builder, plus one of the team members is a mentor in the program.
I see. So any commercial vendor can actually give licenses for.
Yes. If they contact us, we do the regular vetting process, and once everything is fine, they can support the program.
Very, very interesting. Okay. Okay. So I guess I think we have. And yeah, what are the biggest challenges right now, the WordPress Credits? As you said, of course, you want to grow, but you want to grow in a sustainable way. There's no point.
Scale this sustainably. Finding the right balance of work for the mentors, finding the right institutions that will be aligned with our values, interested in the program, showing them the opportunities of the program. Those are the main goals for this year, pretty much.
I see. And long term, does the program have any clear goals or milestones, or you just kind of
So for this year, our milestone would be getting around 22 institutions on board. Something for the future is that we would also love for those institutions to start collaborating with each other, to have actual teachers who will take over the roles of the mentors and be the persons of contact on those institutions, and collaborate between those various institutions from all over the world, and figure out ideas on how they can make the community better and contribute in a more efficient way, or figure out the areas of contribution. Yeah.
I see. So the long-term goal is to offload a bit more from the foundation, and the universities can.
The foundation will be still responsible for the program aspect, delivering the actual requirements to pass the course, but the help will be also. In general, any help is welcome. Yeah.
Good. And in fact, I want to ask. So, what does it entail being a mentor? You said, of course, there is the 1 hour weekly call, and you usually have from 3 to 4 students. But what are you actually doing as a mentor?
So there's a on the website describing the WordPress credits program. There's a form for mentor. Anyone can apply. They submit their WordPress profile. We check their contributions if they have been active in the community. We do like a quick vetting process. And once we approve someone, they go through a quick course that covers the areas that are described in like what they will be responsible for, what will be part of the activities that they need to do with the mentors. Once they pass this course, they become an active mentor who will be assigned to the students once a new university starts or there's a new batch from existing university.
I see. And I assume as a mentor, you can choose what type of contributions you want to help with, or what type of
Yes,
students.
on the form you can select the areas of contribution. So when we assign the students to the mentors, we look for those areas that the students and the mentor will have something in common. We won't assign those mentors randomly to someone who would like to contribute to photos with a core developer, because they might not have too much in common.
Yeah, they might not know the process and what it takes to get it done. Yeah.
Exactly.
And what are there any particular requirements for a student to join? Is it like once the institution is part of the WordPress Credits program, are there any particular requirements for the student, or as long as you're part of the university, you can actually join the program?
Yes, you can join as you're part of the university. You need to be consistent with what you do. Show up for the calls with the mentor, deliver those weekly checkups, and contribute simply. If someone, if we try to connect with someone during the first month for a couple of times and they are not responsive, then we remove them from the program because they are not responsive, and that's not something we're after.
Yeah, which is rightly so. You need someone who's reliable and at least is to show up, of course, and
Exactly.
do your work. Good. If someone wants to learn more, if it's either a student, a university, or someone who's already in the WordPress community, where they should go to learn a bit more about the next steps they can take to help or participate or contribute towards this?
They can go to wordpress.org/education. That website will display all the educational initiatives, Campus Connect, Credit, Students Club, and the Educational Handbook. For details in particular about the credits website, they need to click the credit option from the menu, and that page will display them all the details related to the program from various perspectives, from a student perspective, mentor, institution. So all those details are covered there.
Good, and hopefully we'll find much more young people to contribute to replace old people like me, basically.
Exactly like us.
Thanks a lot, Maciej. Is there, before we conclude this episode, which was very interesting, is there anything else we forgot or would like to mention?
I think we've covered everything. For me, I have a very personal goal related to that program. It's helping creating opportunities for authors that I did not have myself. I had like a bumpy educational road, and this being part of this program allows me to make the educational pathway and those gates to their future careers more easy than what I had personally. So this is something that pretty much always mention, like you can have an easier path, and my goal is to make this happen for you.
Good. No, I agree 100%. As I've said a couple of times, by participating, attending events. I've also contributed in the past. I've had with support forums and some other stuff. And even as company Melapress, we contribute to Fight for the Future. It sounds counterintuitive, but yeah, when you contribute, actually, you get much more than what you contribute. You'd be surprised how much, even just in terms of knowledge you're learning, you're connecting to people. So it's really, really beneficial to the project and also to yourself when you contribute and you make a lot of people.
Yeah, and thank you for that. We need to take care of our ecosystem. So that's the most important thing. Yeah.
I mean, if we want the project to continue growing and remain there and be active, then of course, we need to recruit more and more people. Exactly. Thanks a lot, Maciej. Thanks. Hopefully, I'll see you at WordCamp Europe, right?
Yes, we will see each other there. Looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for following. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Next week we don't have an episode because I'll be traveling, but we'll be back the week after. Thanks everyone. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.